overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The Grizzlies, Grannies, and Grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
With a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
That's no show. Let's go.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're going to get seated this. So who's going to actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Last week, I gave you the update about my son Kevin in terms of having to choose.
The decision?
He picked Tennessee State.
Oh, my heart, Mike.
The next day, we got an email from the director of Tuskegee's program laying out everything that they were going to be doing, and he flip-flopped.
There we go.
He flip-flopped. So he's going to be going down to Tuskegee.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for Thunder Pacers NBA Finals, because either way, that's what you're getting. That's what we got. Game 1 set for Thursday night. We're going to talk about it momentarily. First, quickly. Let me set today's schedule for you in the next segment, about 20 minutes. Michael Eaves going to join me. He, of course, among other things, hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. A lot of things to talk to him about, including the NBA Finals, plus Scottie Scheffler winning again on the PGA Tour. Michael Eaves will be here right around 10:20. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Vegas Insider has done the work to try to figure out which NBA fan base is the most negative. Unsurprisingly, this season, the Mavericks ranked number 1. It's the Luka trade. I'll tell you where the Grizzlies landed in about 40 minutes. Vanessa Bryant has publicly denied that she's pregnant. Weird story originating on the internet, I guess, this weekend that had the phrase Vanessa Bryant pregnant trending on Twitter. I will spend some time on that a little later on in the show. Timothy Chalamet's ex-girlfriend has given her thoughts on the SAG winner's relationship with Kylie Jenner. It's sweet. She had sweet thoughts. I'll tell you what she said a little later on in the show. The Colorado Rockies, they got swept again this weekend, this time by the New York Mets. They've now lost the Rockies 8 straight games. They're now 9-50 on the season. 9-50, historically bad. I'll give you some more numbers. We'll do that in the second hour. In college baseball's NCAA tournament was a lot of fun this weekend. We actually had college baseball games on at the house all day yesterday. Compelling stuff.
Yes, it was.
Arkansas, Auburn already in the Super Regionals. Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU trying to join them later on today. We'll talk some college baseball. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the 2025 NBA playoffs because the finals, they're now set. Game 1 Thursday night inside the Paycom Center, downtown Oklahoma City. Pacers at Thunder, 7:30 tip, ABC. The Thunder are listed as 9.5-point favorites in Game 1. They are -750 to win the championship. So despite being the youngest team in the NBA and a franchise that was just 9-8 in playoff games since trading for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander before this season began, despite all that, OKC is a big favorite to win the 2025 NBA Finals. Again, the Thunder -750 to win the championship. According to the betting markets, OKC in 5 is the most likely outcome of this series. According to the betting markets, a sweep is a more likely outcome than us getting a Game 7 inside the Paycom Center. Big Bet Bennett, now that we're here, now that we're finally here, on a scale of 1 to 7, how are you going to rate the 2025 NBA Finals between the Thunder from Oklahoma City and the Pacers from Indianapolis?
You know, while I do acknowledge as a Grizzlies fan that it's, I have seen this, it is positive that, you know, we've got 2 smaller market teams that are playing for this championship.
They look like us.
I think it could give you hope for the future as a
Grizzlies
Grizzlies fan.
I have hope for the future, Bennett. Don't worry about that.
That said, my excitement level is at about a 3 right now.
Bennett.
I'm just being honest with you.
What? I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your sincerity.
I can't come on here and lie.
I wouldn't ask you to, nor would I want you to. But what I would like for you to do, if you don't mind, verbalize for me.
Yep.
Your disappointment in these NBA Finals.
Well,
I am looking forward to Thursday night. I sense that you are not. Why? What's the core issue for you?
So are we playing Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay. Golly, that's a long way away. My goodness.
You know, well, then maybe the Timberwolves and the Knicks could have put up some better fights.
I wish that was the case. I think like one thing is the disappointment of the Knicks, and in that went exactly like I thought it was gonna go.
You ain't gonna see Timothy courtside again for a little while.
It was like we're going to put forth a really good effort and get this Game 5, but or wait. No, because it's all flip-flopped because of that series. That's right. It was Game 6 in Indy.
We would have had a potential Game 7 in the Garden. We never got there.
I think that when we knew we were getting a Game 6 in Indy, it felt going into that like they're probably going to handle business there. And that's exactly what happened. A pretty easy win for them. But I'm going to try with these next couple days to really hop on this Pacers bandwagon and really get fired up for the Pacers. Like I wanted the Knicks so bad, like
you still
everybody
riding
else
over there
did.
with old Big Mouth, huh? I see.
Well, I wanted the Knicks like everybody else did, and so because I was rooting so hard for the Knicks, it's hard to just immediately be like, "Well, I'm Team Pacers, let's go."
Just be Team
we
Thunder.
Are
Jesus Christ, be Team Thunder. Thunder up. What do I have to do to get you to
Absolutely
come
nothing.
to the right side of history? What does Shai Gilgeous-Alexander have to do?
He can't do nothing. You can do nothing.
What do I and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? What do me and Shai have to do?
Nothing. There's nothing that can be done
on this side. Thunder up.
We are team. I don't know the motto yet. I don't know the motto, but we're Team Pacers.
Yes, sirs. They're the yes, sirs.
What does that even mean? Is that really what it is?
Instead of Pacers, it's yes, sirs. Like yes, sirs. I don't really know.
My God. At least I have a couple days to try to get on this Pacers bandwagon because it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't like that. Thunder up.
Nah.
What do me and Shai have to do? What do me and Shai have to do? I feel like we've done enough.
There's nothing you can do.
I sat here across from you, roughly 2 hours every 5 days a week. I think I treat you well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go to Starbucks and I'll ask you if you want something.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. That's about as far as it goes, I think.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I invite you to Italian Fest.
You invited me to attend an Italian Fest this weekend.
How many times did I walk up to you and hand you a cold beer?
You kept my drink full.
Did you ever have to ask?
Never.
I just walked up and just be like, "Here, take this."
That was a solid friend move. Every time that I was on E, like there was GP right there with a beer in hand for me.
So
that's good stuff. So I do appreciate that.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went out and won an MVP. I'm just handing you beers left and right.
Mm-hmm.
I bought you a pocket watch.
You bought me a pocket watch, yeah.
What else do me and Shai have to do to get you on the right side of Thunder Up?
It's not as much about you as more about just Shai and the Thunder. It's just
I want it to be about me, though. I want it to be about me.
I don't want to.
I know in your head it's not about me, but what you're not understanding is that that's part of the problem.
I understand your point.
I would prefer this to be about me, and you're not allowing it to be about me.
It's not happening.
You're explaining your allegiance to the Pacers by saying, "GP, it's not about you."
Mm-hmm.
What you don't seem to grasp is that's the shit that makes me the maddest.
I understand.
I wanted it to be about me. This needs to be about me. It's us against them. I think Roser's Thunder Up. Roser's Team Thunder Up.
I know. It's gross.
Roser's Team Thunder Up. Well, maybe we need to negotiate a sign-in trade.
Yeah, he's been a little too aggressive with his Thunder fandom lately.
If you want to be a yes, sir, how do you feel about working between 12 and 2?
Look, man.
How you feel about working? How you feel about Tuesdays with Tony? If you want to be a yes, sir.
I love TA. He's great.
I shouldn't even say that.
That sounds pretty cool.
That's like a bonus.
Actually.
That's pretty fun. You might want to go over there.
Nah, dude. I just, I've been a Thunder hater since the beginning, since before this regime. I mean, come on. So this is easy for me. I will not root for them. I will never root for them. It's that simple.
There's not much hatred in my heart for the Thunder or anybody else. I don't carry that kind of stuff around with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I was always this way, but I don't spend a lot of time just hating teams and cities
and stomach them
stuff like that.
I look at them as our peers, and obviously they're not. Obviously they're not right now, but I'm damn sure I ain't ever rooting for that team to win a championship. It'll never happen.
I don't have much hate in this heart, but whatever hate might exist in a different time, in a different place, it is trumped by my appreciation for excellence. I appreciate excellence in this world wherever I find it. And I have found it in Oklahoma City. I've found it in downtown Oklahoma City. I found it inside the Paycom Center. Oklahoma City is excellent. They are an example of excellence. Not just a picture of what we could be someday. They are an example of excellence. A well-built, with no advantages, no inherent advantages to anything. Just a well-built franchise that is filled with excellence. I respect excellence. I look forward to watching excellence in these NBA Finals. Thunder up. I'm going to get you before it's over.
Okay, we'll see. I don't think so.
I'm going to get you over here before it's over. We got to this point, of course, because the Thunder eliminated the Timberwolves in 5 games. That happened last week. We talked about it. Then on Saturday, as you know, Pacers eliminated the Knicks in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The final score there was 125-108. 2 days after arguing with Greg Doyle in a post-game press conference about effort and intensity, Pascal Siakam, he did perform. He took 18 shots.
Oh, so the question worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
They came out and played
He got
hard.
fired up. Yeah.
Pascal Siakam was like, I'm not going to have no bald-headed old man asking me about working hard again. I'm going to work hard. He went out and worked hard, man. Arguably harder than the other team. Took 18 shots, made 10 of them. Finished with 31 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. 6'8" forward, was subsequently named most valuable player of the Eastern Conference Finals, which was hilarious because there was a funny moment caught by an iPhone. I can't say for sure, obviously, but it sure looks like Tyrese Halliburton thought the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy, the Larry Bird trophy, was headed his way. Kyra, if you've got it, let's watch Tyrese Halliburton realize.
I haven't seen this.
It's funny.
I haven't seen
Watch
this.
Tyrese Halliburton realize he is not actually the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals.
This is the Larry Bird trophy. It goes to the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. And that MVP is Pascal Siakam.
He was walking to 30.
That was a for sure step forward to the podium.
He was walking
that
to
was
30.
a step towards the podium. You can never convince me otherwise.
In his head, he was like, all right, hold on a second. I got to go talk to Ernie for a minute. I got to go hey, y'all wait right here. I got to go talk to Ernie for a
He
minute.
put his head down like he was about to do the little like walk forward. And then I did think he saved it the best that he could. Like he kind of stood there and like swayed a little bit. Like he was just walking into like a little like happy dance.
It's actually funnier if you just own it, because that video exists, and at some point he'll be asked about this, or maybe not. I don't know. I would love for him to be asked about this, and what I would prefer for him to say is just own it. Just be like, yeah, I thought I was about to win the trophy.
I played pretty good.
I mean, I did this. I did this in game 1. Hit that shot. That's the moment of the playoffs. And then I had a historically unprecedented triple-double in game 4. I thought, of course I thought I was the MVP. Who voted for Pascal? Like, just have fun with it. Like, do it all with a big smile on your face.
Yeah.
Have fun with it. Because here's the truth. I couldn't believe it when Ernie Johnson said Pascal Siakam. I was just as surprised as Tyrese Halliburton.
I was surprised,
we were watching it live, and I was like, oh, wow. Siakam got the trophy. It's not crazy that he got the trophy. He did lead them in scoring.
Good,
He led them in scoring in the Eastern Conference Finals. 24.8 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals in 36 minutes per game. That's Siakam. 52.4% from the field and 50% from 3. He was great. I would have given the MVP to Halliburton.
I would have too.
Because here's what I think. You know what I think? I think he's the most valuable.
Yes.
I think he's the most valuable.
He matters the most to
I
that
think
team.
he matters the most. I think he's the most valuable. In the Eastern Conference Finals, 21 points, 10.5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2.5 steals, 36.8 minutes per game. He was 45.5% from the field, only 32.7% from 3. But he did, again, deliver the moment of the series. One of the greatest playoff moments of all time. Like 20 years from now, they'll show that again.
That's right.
40 years from now, they'll show that again. You'll be seeing that the rest of your life.
Yes.
He delivered that moment. Then he delivered a historically unprecedented triple-double in Game 4. I, just like Tyrese Halliburton, thought Tyrese Halliburton should have been MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, but in the end, who cares?
Yeah, we got a finals trophy waiting on you, man.
Go get the big one.
We got a finals MVP trophy waiting on you.
Go get the big one. Again, Game 1, NBA Finals. It's set for Thursday, 7:30 on ABC. Big Bet Bennett, let's go ahead. Let's get it on record.
Okay.
Let's get the official predictions. Who wins the series, and how many games will it take them to get it done?
I'm gonna say that even though I'm all aboard the Pacers bandwagon.
Yeah, you keep saying
I'm
that.
ready to do this. Well, I'm not ready yet. A lot of things that you said in that opening kind of made me have to rethink things. But likely by Thursday we're gonna be all aboard this. What is it? Yes,
sirs. The yes sirs. I don't know. I don't like it either.
I'll figure all that out before Thursday.
It sounds goofy to me.
I'll figure all that out before Thursday. That's fine. Oh, good God.
You're gonna have to come to peace with that.
That said, I think I'll probably land on. I'll say Thunder in 6.
Thunder up.
I'll say Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 5. Thunder up.
I mean, what was it? Minus 750?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge.
That's insane.
It's like huge. Actually,
that's got to be one of the bigger ones for an NBA Finals.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Who knows? Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm smarter than the betting markets.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in my history to ever suggest I'm smarter than the betting markets.
Yeah.
But that seems like too big of a number.
Yeah, and
particularly when, I mean, we are always a pulled hamstring away from the entire thing changing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're always just, I wouldn't feel comfortable laying. You ever, like, in baseball, like, think about this for a second, okay? I'm about to just put some numbers on. So the Mets play the Rockies all weekend. And it's like Mets minus 370, Mets minus 415. These are massive baseball numbers you just don't see, right? Because of there's too many variables in a baseball game. It's like you're one hanging curveball away from a bad team beating a good team, right? So these numbers are whatever. But, like, it's one of the best teams in baseball against one of the worst teams of all time. And even that on any given day is like minus 370,
That's
minus
true.
400, whatever.
Yeah.
You realize, like, if you woke up on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, the Rockies were more likely to beat the Mets in a baseball game in any one baseball game than the Pacers are to win this series, according to the betting market. That's how big of they are. Big favorites.
Yeah.
Big favorites.
Yeah, they played twice in the regular season. Thunder handled them both times pretty easily.
So, like, and they might do it again, right? Again, a sweep in the betting markets is more likely than us getting to a Game 7. If the question is as simple as this, what is more likely, that we get a Game 7 or that we never get a Game 5? It's that we never get a Game 5. That's the most likely outcome. It might go exactly like that. And then we'll all sit here and be like, we should have seen this coming. They did have the best point differential in the history of the NBA in the regular season. They did win more blowouts than anybody in the history of the NBA. Like, we should have seen this coming. But just having watched the Pacers throughout this postseason, game after game, they don't look like they should be that big of an underdog in this. Halliburton is made for the moments. He just is. He's, like, comfortable in uncomfortable situations. That's part of being a superstar too. And I know he didn't have a good Game 5, but, like, he bounced back.
Yeah.
And then again, like, the Thunder might be so good that they could lose any one player and still be favored to win the thing, outside of maybe Shea and then even maybe him. I don't know. But you're just always one little twisted ankle away. Like, you're just one Shea Gilgeous-Alexander goes into the air and comes down on somebody's foot away from, oh, buddy, this is getting.
Yeah.
So I hope it's a fun series. On one hand, sure, I'd like the Thunder just to run through it so I can say, I told you. But more than that, I genuinely just want to see compelling basketball.
Sure.
And I think this could be a fun series if it doesn't get lopsided. And I know that might sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but hopefully you get the point. It might get lopsided, and then it's not that much fun. But I think the Pacers are capable, in theory, of, like, making this a fun basketball series if they can keep the series competitive.
Yep.
And that's a big if. Michael Eaves is up next.
Is your child a natural-born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Javon Evans might be the John Morant of the WWE. You asked me how do I say that? It's because Javon Evans is electrifying. He is viral. He does things you've never seen before. The most athletic guy you've never ever seen in the wrestling world. He reminds me of John in a wrestling ring. So Javon Evans, I'm proclaiming you on this day the John Morant of the WWE.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
For Jaren Jackson Jr. in 7 years to have the following resume is very impressive. Second team all defense this year. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's a 2-time first team all defense, 2-time leader in blocks, made the all rookie first team back in his first year in the league.
You left off Defensive Player of the Year.
And Defensive Player of the Year.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. And on Mondays in the second segment, I am joined by Michael Eaves. You see him hosting Sports Center. He's here right now. Michael Eaves, it's GP. How you doing on this Monday?
Happy June, man. Hopefully June weather will come as well because spring was kind of trash by Mother Nature standards.
It's a little too cold up there? How's it been for you?
Yeah, too cold and too rainy.
Yeah.
Dude, we had rain in Connecticut, I believe, on 8 consecutive Saturdays.
Oh no. I mean, it really, for people who don't live the life we live, it really is like midweek you start looking at the weather app, and if you see 80% on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you're like, come on, man, I've been looking forward to this all week. It really does impact your mood.
Totally does, man. Especially because, especially coming out of New England where, so much of your year is spent in cold temperatures and snow and stuff. So when you get to this part of the year, cool, we're going to be outside. Yes. And Mother Nature's like, well, if you're going to go out there, you're going to be wet. So it defeats the whole purpose.
Well, I wish you better weather going forward. Let's talk NBA Finals. It's now set. Thunder Pacers in the opening segment. Listen, I'm not ignorant to the betting markets. I know that this is expected to be lopsided. OKC is minus 750 in the series. The most likely outcome is Thunder in 5. But I sort of have enjoyed the Halliburton Pacers story, and there's a decent chance I understand that this series could get lopsided. But if it doesn't, I feel like the styles of basketball could be fun to watch. What are your first impressions of Thunder Pacers?
Well, first of all, let's call it the Paul George Cup.
Yes.
Because of how he has impacted these two teams get into where they are right now. I actually like the matchup, Gary. I really do. And this, I thought, was going to be, once we got to the Final Four, if you will, I thought this would have been the best matchup roster for roster because of what each team likes to do and how the other team has a pretty good chance of playing that same type of game, no matter who has control of the pace of play and that nature. And then SGA versus Tyrese Halliburton, I want to see that matchup, man. I really do. Based on what those two guys can do at their size and their length, I think that's a very intriguing matchup that we could get in the NBA Finals. So as a pure basketball fan, I'm looking forward to it. Now, if you're going to say, should the Thunder be favored as much as they are? Look, people have to understand about betting lines in Vegas. Those lines are put at a certain point to trigger bets in a certain direction, right? The first number that comes out is not exactly what they think will happen relative to the series, but they want money to move a certain way. That's why they do that. Now, having said that, should they be favored? Absolutely. They were the best team in the league all season long. They're led by the MVP. Why would they not be favored? Could it be a sweep? Highly doubt it. Could it go 7 games? Absolutely.
As I'm sitting here talking to you, I just sort of realize, you're from Kentucky. The Pacers are in Indianapolis. That's not too far away. The Cardinals matter here in part because of the AAA Redbirds, but just geography. The Braves matter here in part because of geography. Do the Pacers matter in Kentucky at all?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. No. Zero feel. Zero.
Why do you think that is?
Because Kentucky is a college basketball town, state, pardon me. And so much of Indiana is also college basketball, right? Where the Pacers literally is Indianapolis. Now, they've had success, and when you have that success, that bandwagon tends to grow, but it's not about the Pacers in Indianapolis. The Colts are a bigger team in Indianapolis than the Pacers are because IU and Purdue and Notre Dame are there as well. So it doesn't matter in Kentucky whatsoever. Plus, Louisville wants an NBA team, believe it or not, so they can care too less about the Pacers. So elsewhere in the NBA, and I guess this is just the way it works, a team gets eliminated, even if it's in the Western Conference Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, then immediately the conversation turns to what's next? What do they do to get over this hump? And in Minneapolis, they're already doing it, and there are reports that they're going to pursue a trade for Kevin Durant. He's turned 37 later this year. Can KD be the missing piece to something special at this point in his career? For that team, yes. Yeah. For any other, I'd say it's a handful of rosters he could be. And I say that with a little bit of grain of salt because he is an all-time great. But he's not the all-time great he was 5 years ago. And no one is, to be fair, maybe besides LeBron. Right. But for that team and what they're lacking as it relates to getting to the Western Conference Finals for a second straight year, but not being able to get to the NBA Finals, I absolutely believe he could be that missing link because you have a bona fide veteran there in Mike Conley Jr. You have a rising superstar in Anthony Edwards, and you put KD on that team to book in 2 longtime vets with him, but also someone that he's inspired by in Kevin Durant, and a guy that can still be capable, Gary, of going out in key moments of crucial games and making plays, then that changed the entire dynamic of that squad. And I think it'd be great for Anthony Edwards. Like, he clearly looks up to and respects Kevin Durant. Yes, I mean, he might not look up to anybody, but he respects Kevin Durant. And I think KD's voice would matter to Anthony Edwards. And also, like, just from a basketball thing, he carries Anthony Edwards such an offensive burden in Minnesota where he's just asked to create and score, and that can become exhausting. KD can take a little bit of that pressure off of him and just, I think, make basketball easier. Would you agree with that sentiment? Oh, 100%. Right. And then that's the X's and O's aspect of adding Kevin Durant to that team. When things aren't going well, and that happens, the deeper and deeper you get to the playoffs, the defense from the opposing team gets better, right? And so getting those buckets becomes harder and harder, whether you're running sets or not. So if you're having an off shooting night or the defender in front of you just really, really good, as was the case with the Thunder and Lou Dort, what else can you do to get better buckets for your squad? Sometimes just your best player, or maybe your best offensive player going one-on-one with whomever, or in this case, it would be Kevin Durant going against maybe the second best defender on another team and him going off, which clearly they need in Minnesota. On the PGA Tour, surprise, surprise, Scottie Scheffler won again this weekend at the Memorial, becomes the first repeat winner since Tiger. I think the only repeat winner besides Tiger. Yep. Tiger did it 3 times.
He's now won 3 of his last 4 starts. His lead in the world golf rankings is bigger than it's been for anybody since Tiger, like peak Tiger. Like for people who don't follow this stuff, and even I think non-golf fans are starting to become aware of just Scotty Scheffler. The brief gel thing helps the story on some level. But for people who don't follow it closely, like explain what it is we're watching here, because golfers are not supposed to win this consistently on the PGA Tour.
No, my new nickname for Scotty Scheffler is Thanos because he is inevitable.
Yes.
And everyone knows it. I thought Jordan Spieth had a very good line about him the other day, and this is kind of golf nerdy stuff. He said, what makes Scotty so impressive? It says the control of his club face. And what that means is he can hit the ball in the middle of the face every single time. And when you do that consistently, you hit better shots. And the more you do that consistently, the more you separate yourself from the field. And that's what he does. He does the hardest thing in golf easier than everybody else right now. And that leads to consistency. And we talked about his personality. He never gets too high. He never gets too low. And when you can operate within that emotional spectrum to that degree with that physical talent and the work that he puts in, he becomes the best golfer in the world by a long shot. It just shows how hard it is to do it. And we keep bringing up Tiger and things Tiger did. Now, again, Scotty's not near what Tiger did, but he's starting to duplicate stretches of what Tiger did. And it just reminds us of how hard it is to do it because it's so rare, and how dominant Tiger was because he did it so often.
Staying on the subject of golf nerd stuff, there was this video that surfaced at some point over the past couple of weeks, or at least I saw it for the first time past couple of weeks. And it's the type of videos we see all the time. It's like Scotty and another golfer, and they're talking, and there's just sort of a camera picking it up, and Mike's picking it up. And it was just sort of an interesting conversation in just the way he thinks, because they were talking about shot shaping and selecting shots. And the one golfer who name escapes me at this point was like, I just sort of, I get there to my ball and I sort of look at the shots and then I try to figure out what I'm going to be most comfortable trying to do here. And Scotty, I don't even think he realized what he was saying, but he had almost the opposite approach. And it was like, I get, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, I get to my shot and then I just say, okay, what do I want to do? And then I go do it. I don't have to figure out where I'm comfortable. I'm always comfortable. I just decide what do I want to do, and then I'm comfortable doing it. Whereas a different golfer was like, I need to see it and see where I'm comfortable. The shot almost picks for me. And Scotty was like, no, I do what I want to do all the time. It's just a mindset thing that's really fascinating.
Yeah, it's also an indication of his level of greatness because not everybody can do that.
That's right.
And that's the part of it where Tiger could do that. It didn't matter what the shot called for. Tiger was comfortable doing it. Right. Whether it was a draw off the tee, a cut into the green, a flop shot versus a pitch and run, whatever it was, Tiger was comfortable doing it. Now, there's a couple things. One, because he knew he had put in the work to be able to hit that shot because he practiced hitting those shots. And Scotty does that. Scotty practiced shots you would never think he would practice because either A, he gets bored practicing, which is not the case, or he just realizes that, eventually at some time I'm going to have to hit this shot and I need to hit it under pressure. So let me go practice 100 of them right now. That's what the greats do. And look, and that happens in all sports, Gary. It really does. We were talking about this the other day at ESPN. We're doing this top 10 list of the greatest moments in NBA Finals history since 2000, last 25 years. And 2 of the top ones we came up with was obviously LeBron's block against the Warriors, and then Ray Allen's 3. Remember that corner 3 he hit against the Spurs? Well, Ray actually practiced that shot running backwards to the corner 3-point line, not looking down at his feet and being behind the line and then shooting the 3. He practiced that shot for years. And in one instant, it came up and it helped the Heat come back against the Spurs and win the NBA championship. That's what the greats do. Their preparation is Hall of Fame level.
Another headline out of the Memorial, because it's Jack's tournament, and Jack Nicklaus was quoted as saying he hates the walk and talk interviews on the course. He says that he would never have wanted to do them, and he doesn't like them because he doesn't think golfers should be talking to broadcasters in the middle of the round. They should be focused on the task at hand. This is also something we do in other sports. Sunday Night Baseball does it every Sunday night. You see it, you're waiting to go on. 2 Sundays ago, I guess, Mets Dodgers, and Francisco Lindor had the mic on, playing shortstop. He's talking to his wife. They brought her in and the booth. And it went fine and it was great, but I did do a Twitter search just to see the reaction from people, and it was not popular. And I can't imagine what it would be like if he would have booted a double play ball while talking to his wife. Where are you at on athletes talking on a mic in the middle of competition?
I think it's great, and I think the more they can do it, the better.
Okay.
Now, Jack is old school.
Yeah.
Right? This is a generational thing, Gary. Right? We have to understand that our standards and expectations in our certain age group does not apply across the board, right? And we need to let go of that archaic kind of thinking, because this younger generation, whether it's millennials who are younger than me or Gen X, Gen Z, wherever we are at this point, we're Gen X, pardon me. They look at things differently, and they look at technology differently, and they look at activities differently. I remember going into stores, years ago, and someone working the cash register was having a phone call with someone on FaceTime on their phone, right? That's how they exist. I thought it was insane, but that's how they exist. So these younger people have no problem doing these, access type interviews because it's not foreign to them, right? He was like, Ben Hogan would never do that. Yeah, Ben Hogan wouldn't. And it's also not 1957. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're 2025, right? And people want, and Roy McIlroy was talking about it once. He was talking about how what F1 drivers, the conversations they have right before they get into the car. NASCAR, they've been talking on the telecom during caution laps for decades. It's just fine. It's whatever. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. It's no big deal. If you don't get anything out of it, okay, then just sit there and wait until it's over and keep watching the game. It's not that crucial.
I do enjoy the golf ones just because, again, nerd golf stuff. I like listening. I've seen some of those walk and talks on golf courses be really interesting just to sort of get into the mindset of a Roy McIlroy or Scotty Scheffler or anyone else. So I know certainly in the NBA, all the coaches don't love the in the middle of the quarter type of in-game interviews. But I'm with you. It's sort of fighting. It seems like a waste of time. This is just where we are. Right. And honestly, I contrast it because Jack, old school, focus on. I bet you Jack Nicklaus also never drove around in a golf cart listening to hip hop, while drinking. But that's the way we play golf. We play golf. Correct. There's music, there's drinks, there's yelling and laughing and storytelling.
I bet he wasn't taking pictures and videos and posting them on Instagram during his round either.
Right.
But it's 2025, man. It's not 1975. We kind of got to get over that archaic way of thinking as it relates to especially new media as we're trying to get athletes and stuff exposed.
That's right. Wrapping up here with Michael Eaves from ESPN. Last thing before I let you go. This weekend, Shohei Ohtani scored his 60th run of the season. And that might not mean anything without context, but he did become the first Major League Baseball player in the modern era to score 60 times before June 1st. Some of this is we start playing baseball a little earlier in the calendar than we used to. Some of it is he's amazing. We just talked about Scotty Scheffler being an all-time great, and we're getting to witness peak stuff in real time. We're also doing that in baseball with Shohei, aren't we?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yes. And again, like you mentioned, the game is a little bit different now. We start the season a little bit earlier, but also, 15, 20 years ago, you would never have a hitter like Shohei Ohtani leading off. Right? That would never happen. So he's hitting 22 home runs from the leadoff spot before June 1st. That would never the greatest leadoff hitters of all time with power, whether it's Ricky Henderson or whomever, they never hit that many home runs before June 1st. So that's why he's able to score more runs. And by the way, look who's hitting behind him. You got Mookie Betts, you got Freddie Freeman, you got Teoscar Hernandez. So that's why that number is what it is. But as it relates to him specifically, just think about what type of hitter and player he is, that he can hit leadoff, but then still score from second on a base hit to right, or leg out a first to home situation on a double in the gap. Like, he is still that overall type of player to be able to do it. And I think because he's been so great since he's come into the league, we start to take it for granted. But no, this may be a once-in-generation type player.
That is Michael Eaves. Make sure you follow him on X at Michael Eaves. You can catch him on SportsCenter on ESPN. You're the best, buddy. Thanks for being here.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye-bye. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. Yeah, the Shohei stuff is just, we talked about it last week.
Dude.
I mean, he's going to win a fourth MVP, it looks like, this season. That'll put him second all-time in MVPs behind only Barry Bonds, who has 7. Yep. He's just outrageous. And Michael is exactly right. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, certainly when I was growing up, nobody like him was leading off. It was like crazy, not crazy, but unusual and awesome that like Ricky Henderson was leading off and like hitting leadoff home runs all the time. But, you know, Ricky Henderson was doing that when it got the most attention with Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco hitting behind him. Now you take one of the greatest home run hitters in the world, because you don't want to disrespect Aaron Judge, but you take one of the great home run hitters, big man in the world, and you put him you're leading off. And there's a lot of different reasons behind this, but among them is you just put so much pressure right from the jump, like so much pressure on the other team. Because there's like, the numbers are the numbers. Like you put the leadoff man on, he scores X amount of times, this percentage of times. You put incredible, and play ball. Oh, God, what are we dealing with now? Here's Shohei Ohtani to start. Like, my first pitch has got to be to Shohei Ohtani? All right, you better pitch to him. Because if you don't, guess what happens? Ball 4, he's on. You just put the leadoff guy. Now, statistically, you're in a bad spot, and we're like 7 pitches into this thing. Yeah. Or you can pitch to him, but good luck.
Yeah, dude.
Good luck. They asked, could I sing a Mets pitcher last weekend? They're like, what's it? He's Japanese as well. They're like, what's it like pitching to Shohei Ohtani? He said, it's not fun. It's not fun.
I doubt it is. No, that Friday night game was awesome. They both hit home runs in the first inning. Like, it was just so cool.
That, like, we just need a bigger, like that, you know.
I know.
There's no regular season baseball game that matters.
Right. That's a big problem, right?
To anybody outside of your own fan base.
For sure.
Like
there's just no stakes, really.
There's nothing.
Hardly ever.
Like even a Yankees, Dodgers, Judge, Ohtani, Friday night, it just sort of gets lost in baseball stuff. I mean, you were going to be aware, I think, if you were on social media, that something big, like that the stars are delivering. You were going to be aware of that. But there's just, you can't make the stakes important enough for May or June baseball, regular season game, to where like people are sitting around talking about it. And tonight it's Dodgers Yankees. You'll get that in markets. Baseball's a weird sport. It's big in the market that it's big in. And the people in those markets follow it intensely. But you don't really follow baseball. You just follow your team. I'm sort of similar. I watch every Mets game. And we'll have other baseball games on, but like I can't intelligently right now talk to you just off the top of my head about the AL West.
Right.
I can't just come in here and do 15 minutes on the AL West right now. I mean, I could, give me an hour to prep and I could do it. But just off the top of my head, can I talk to you about the American League West? No. But off the top of my head, could I talk to you about the Mets and the NL East? I'd focus on what I'm focused on, and that's largely baseball fans. So if it happens outside of your market or outside of your team or at least division, it's kind of off the national radars, or at least off of your radar. And the Ohtani Judge stuff this weekend, like that should have been everywhere for baseball. And it just wasn't. It was a nice little baseball thing, but it just wasn't everywhere the way it should be. But the Ohtani thing, he's incredible.
He's awesome.
Yeah, you put him in that, like you have to start a game by throwing a pitch to him. And if you try to pitch around him, you're putting the leadoff guy on. And if you pitch to him, well, you could be down 1-0. Could be down 1-0. When we come back, Vegas Insider has done the work to figure out what is the most negative fan base in the NBA. Surprise, surprise, this season it was the Dallas Mavericks. I'll tell you where the Grizzlies landed. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
What should the Grizzlies take away from this Western Conference Finals matchup?
The Grizzlies need more quality depth. Not just depth, quality depth.
Well, what the Memphis Grizzlies can learn and take away from the Western Conference Finals is you can't talk about it, you got to be about it.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Halliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Halliburton rank? Where does he rank?
Yeah, is there potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping y'all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled. And Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now we got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Vegas Insider has done the work to determine what is the most negative fan base in the NBA. And unsurprisingly, in the 2024-25 season, the most negative fan base in the NBA was the Dallas Mavericks fan base.
But didn't they have the right to it?
Oh, I think so. I mean, I think we can all understand why the Maverick fan base might have gotten a little negative throughout the season. They traded Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
They traded Luka Doncic.
Negative.
They had one of the greatest 20. My God, they had a generational talent, age 25, had just taken you. It's still crazy they did that.
Yeah.
It's still bananas.
It's one of those head scratchers we'll be asking ourselves about
The
for a long time.
percentage of negative comments connected to Mavericks fans was calculated to be 32.41. 32.41% of comments were negative from Dallas Mavericks fans, Where do you think the Grizzlies landed? Where do you think Grizzly fans landed?
Well, I know where they landed, and I was kind of surprised by it, frankly.
I wasn't.
You weren't?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, we can say
fourth.
Fourth is high, dude.
The Grizzlies had the fourth most negative fan base in the NBA this season, according to Vegas Insider. You're surprised, but let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go. Okay, let's dissect this.
Have you ever looked at Grizzlies PR mentions?
Okay, yes, I have.
At Grizzlies PR Twitter account takes a beating every single day, every game day.
I do think
because they deliver the worst news. I mean, in fact, I love at Grizzlies PR. You know that. You know that.
Me too.
But my God, they sure have a way of just ripping your heart out. 5:01 the day before a game. 5:01 p.m. the day before a game is like the worst minute of any day for Grizzlies fans. 5:01 p.m. the day before a game. If you're a Grizzlies fan, just understand. Hey, what's today? Today's Tuesday. The Grizzlies playing tonight? No.
PTSD.
No, the Grizzlies are playing tomorrow. The Grizzlies are playing tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what that means. What? At 5:01, we're going to feel like hell. At 5:01 p.m., at Grizzlies PR, going to jump in my phone and be like, hey, all your favorite players are hurt. That is what they do. So I get it.
So yeah, and obviously we should reiterate this is this past season. This is just this past season. They're not saying that our fan base is negative every year. No.
I think we're a joyful bunch.
We're a joyful bunch on good years. Yeah, which we've had plenty of.
Yeah, but we've been going through something. We've been going through something. You know, we had to go through something.
I guess I can see. I still think top 5 is way too high.
Well, think about everything that happened this year, all right?
Uh-huh.
Even when the team was winning, we were like, well, why don't the players play more?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Why are your starters on the bench all the time?
Yeah.
All right, so we went through that. That's negative.
I forget. Yeah, we went through all that. Yeah.
I don't mean to yell, but I was...
And then everybody got hurt again.
All right?
It was like, we've already done this.
So you think, this is what you think.
I could make someone negative.
Here's what you think as a fan base. You understand your players can't play when they're hurt.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But what you assume is when they're not hurt, they'll play. And then you're like, why are the starters still on the bench when they're not hurt? All right? So we had that stuff.
Uh-huh.
All right? And then everybody got hurt, and so then we had that negativity. Then we couldn't beat good teams at all. Negativity. Then they had to fire the coach.
And then at the end it was like, you just got to win like 1 or 2 of these games to not have to play the Thunder in the first round.
Negative feelings.
Yeah.
And the John gets hurt again. Negative feelings.
Yeah, it was pretty much from start to finish. Now that I think about it,
like 2 would not be surprising to me. Well, Mavericks 1, Grizzlies 2 would not be surprising to me. It collapsed down the stretch.
Okay, because again, we're just talking about this past season. Like I was like, how in the hell would we be ahead of Philly? But Philly became resigned to their fate.
They got all their negative stuff out early.
They got it out. Then
they got to clock out.
Yeah, so at the end it was like, whatever. We don't care anymore.
Yeah, they clocked out. The Philadelphia 76ers season was a lot like, if you're down 30 in the first quarter, it's like, all right, I'm turning this off. Remember game 1, Thunder Grizzlies?
Yeah.
You remember how we could just turn that off?
Yes.
And they're down 52 points.
I remember it well.
It'd just be like, well, I plan to spend Easter watching the Grizzlies, but I guess if y'all want to go to brunch, let's go ahead and knock it out.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. So the confusing thing about it, though, is like when I'm looking at the bottom. So San Antonio's at the bottom, which that makes complete sense.
Because they don't care about nothing, man. We got Wemby.
We may suck for a year, but
buddy,
we got a great player now.
We got all these We got all these championships. We got Wemby.
And even when they suck this year, it's like, well, we'll go get De'Aaron Fox just to make our fans excited about next year.
We got back-to-back rookies of the year. It sucks that Pop's not going to be able to do it no more, but what? Okay, 1 and 30 makes complete sense to me. The Mavericks should be the most negative, and the Spurs should be the most chill.
I agree with that.
1 through 30.
I agree with that.
We should not argue about number 1 or number 30.
29, I'm shocked by.
Like, if you told me to put this list together, I would say, you ever do like a jigsaw puzzle? I gather there's good places to start and bad places to start. I don't know nothing about it, but like, hey, let's put this list together. We got to put 30 teams in some order. All right, let's go ahead and put what we know first? What do we know? We're not even debating. 1 is Mavericks, 30 is Spurs.
Yes.
Now let's fill in the middle. 29 surprises you? The Washington Wizards. That's just apathy. They don't care.
They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
We're never going to be good.
You can't be negative about something you don't care about.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we do. We're
Right.
always going to suck.
Right. Yeah. Like if I'm negative about something, it'll be like stuff that actually like impacts my feelings. Like if I want to be negative about something, it's going to have to be something that matters to me. Like you're not going to catch me sitting around being all negative about somebody that lives, 2 neighborhoods over that I see once a 6-month period. I don't even care. What you got to care. The key to being negative, the first step is you got to care.
Right.
Otherwise, what's even
That's
the point?
right.
You got to care about something to be negative about it. If you don't care about something, you just don't care about it, right?
Yeah.
That's Washington. That's how Washington falls at 29. They don't care.
That makes sense.
They don't even care enough to be negative.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in that way, this top 5 for the Grizzlies is a good sign. People care.
Passion.
Passion.
Yeah. I think we could spin this into positive.
Yeah.
Passion.
It shows that people care.
Yeah.
Right? You ever get into a relationship where there ain't no passion? You got a lack of caring there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real problem, isn't it? You ever come home late for work and don't do anything you were supposed to do all day long?
Yes.
And nobody's upset with you? Lack of passion.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
cares anymore. That's a bad place to get, Bennett. Hope you never find yourself in that situation. That's a bad place to get. This is a good sign.
I love how the Knicks are still top 6 too. It's like, bro, you were just in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, but
but
but we talked about this. Their fans were mad all season.
That's right.
For the same reason Grizzlies fans were mad, or a lot of the same reasons.
We don't beat the good teams.
Why aren't we beating the good teams? Yeah, they were mad.
Our record's good, but we don't beat good teams.
They were mad. This is a good thing for the Grizzlies. It shows that the passion is still there. In Washington, they don't even care enough to be negative. Here in Memphis, people still care enough to bitch about everything. That's a good sign.
I think it's a good sign too. Okay.
I would rather have thousands of people out there tweeting negative stuff about the Grizzlies than people.
Nobody says anything.
Then nobody says nothing. We are still in a place with this franchise where people care enough to say something, even if it's negative, even if it's hate speech directed at Grizzlies PR. Better than the alternative.
They didn't do nothing.
It's not at Grizzlies PR fault.
They're just reporting the news.
Don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
Don't kill the messenger.
Leave Grizzlies PR alone.
Leave at Grizzlies PR alone.
Good people behind that account.
There's
okay?
good people behind that account. They just have to
if they hurt me on a daily basis.
5:01 p.m. Central Time the day before a game is the worst minute. The worst minute of.
I don't even want to think about it.
It's just a terrible minute. You just know. Imagine, this is what we have to deal with. You want to know why we're so negative? We know the day before every game at 5:01 p.m., somebody's going to tell us something we don't want to hear. 5:01 p.m., the day before a game, they're going to tell us something we don't want to hear. Imagine if that applied to your real life, personal life. If you knew at 5:01 today your wife's going to call you and tell you some sad shit that you don't want to hear, you'd be like, I don't even want
to answer the phone.
I don't even want to answer the phone. All right? But to your point, at Grizzlies PR, they're just delivering the news.
That's it.
It's not their fault. They're the doctor telling you that your father has died. They didn't kill your father.
Right.
All right? They're just the doctor telling you your father died. They didn't kill your father. At Grizzlies PR, did not kill anybody's father.
No.
All right?
Okay, I feel pretty good about this.
I feel pretty good about it.
I feel pretty good about this.
You know what I'd feel worse about? If we were down here in the 20s. Because you know why? I'd say, Jesus, there are a lot of reasons to be negative over the past year, and nobody seemed to care.
Can I tell you the most annoying one on this
Go
list?
ahead.
It's by far the Oklahoma City Thunder at number 13. What the hell do you have any reason to be negative about?
What?
You should be at the very bottom right there with the Spurs.
Why are they so negative?
And I
Seriously,
question that.
what
I don't
would you-
think I've ever seen anything negative said about that team.
What would, if you're a Thunder fan on social media, what would you be complaining about? You just hate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander foul hunting as well.
I think they love that. I think they love it.
But you're like Thunder up and SGA is great, but man, I'm tired of watching free throw competitions. I get. But if you were a
maybe.
Thunder fan, okay, here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're a negative Grizzlies fan over the past season, I totally get it. Understand. if you are a negative Thunder fan over the past season, that you there's something wrong with you, and you need to go get that checked out.
I mean, they're literally in the top half of this list.
What are you complaining about?
That makes no sense whatsoever.
You have the MVP. You have the best general manager. You have the best record.
A million good young players.
You have the best. If you
a million picks.
You can either
do whatever the hell you want.
You can ride out a dynasty until the second apron kills you, or you can package a bunch of stuff and go get Giannis. Like, what would you even complain about in Oklahoma City?
I got questions.
I don't know what are you complaining about? Like, if they were my friend, if I was friends with Oklahoma City fans, and they came over and they'd be like, "Yeah, GP, it looks good from the outside, but you don't really know what it's like." I'd be like, "Buddy."
They force us to put on those shirts.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's
just people pissed they keep making them put on those shirts.
Yeah, they're like, Thunder up and SJ's amazing, but
I had a nice fit for the game, and they keep making me put on this double XL Thunder shirt.
I get peer pressured into putting in a cheap blue Thunder shirt.
Yeah, that's
got to be it.
That's what it is.
That is the thing I would complain about if I were a Thunder fan.
I think I would too.
I'd be like, man, you can't even get me to match with the other parents at 8-year-old baseball. You think I'm matching with 17,000 strangers in the Paycom Center? No chance, buddy. I'm going to wear what I want to wear.
Yeah.
All right? I'm going to wear what I want to wear. Ain't nobody telling me what to wear. But they do that in Oklahoma City. They tell them what to wear. They pressure them.
Yeah.
I bet you that's where the negative comments come from.
Probably so.
That's okay. And so in that regard, I guess it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
Vanessa Bryant is not pregnant. I repeat, not pregnant.
What's going on here?
Nobody has impregnated Vanessa Bryant, according to Vanessa Bryant. I don't know what's going on. I jumped on Twitter this weekend, and there it is, right? The fuck got, you just pop on, and it's like, Vanessa Bryant is pregnant. I said, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Is that what you're supposed to say when somebody's pregnant? Congratulations.
Unless they're say congratulations.
Unless they're 13.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, buddy, you just screwed up.
Yeah.
All right? But I think outside of that kind of stuff, you just be like,
it's awesome.
Congratulations. And yet there was not congratulations on the timeline. People were angry at the idea of Vanessa Bryant being pregnant because I guess what that would imply is that Vanessa Bryant has moved on from the late Kobe Bryant, her ex-husband. And Twitter was not happy about this. There was a time this weekend when Twitter believed Vanessa Bryant was pregnant and people were not happy. Vanessa Bryant has subsequently jumped on social media herself to deny that she's pregnant and end all pregnancy rumors. But how do you feel about the world being upset at the idea of Vanessa Bryant being pregnant? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think they all, respect to the, legend Kobe Bryant.
People seem to have a real. I'm trying to talk about this like half joking and half serious.
Well, no, but here's the thing: she's a young woman.
She's a young woman.
Like
she's a beautiful young woman.
You want her to be a widow like forever?
Well, she is going to be a widow forever. Her husband died. And he's not coming back.
Okay.
I don't think. So she will be a widow forever.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. All right. But do you expect her to just be single forever?
I don't expect that. And I don't like people putting those expectations on her. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to put on somebody.
I mean, dude,
if Vanessa Bryant ever has a significant other again, there's a contingent of people on the internet who are going to be really disappointed with that. Yeah. And that seems bananas to me.
I think so, too. And I mean, by all accounts, she has carried on his legacy in, like, the best way. She's the best way. Like, she's running at least she's very heavily involved in the shoe.
She seems to honor her late husband impressively.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody doubts the sincerity of Vanessa Bryant's love and loss of Kobe Bryant.
Right.
You don't doubt her sincerity.
Not at all.
Not at all. She's been, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like I was about to say great's not the right word, but like there is a world out there that if you ever hear, oh, did you hear Vanessa Bryant is now dating Leonardo DiCaprio? That would be weird. Plus, she's too old for him.
I was going to say.
No chance. Bad example.
That's
all right?
a bad example.
Bad example. Vanessa Bryant is dating Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
All right? People would be mad about that. Disappointed in her. And that seemed bananas to me.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair.
I bet you she feels that. Don't you think she feels that? Don't you think even if she is in a relationship or dating or anything, she goes out of her way, because she has never been publicly connected to anybody.
Right.
Don't you think even if she were privately connected to somebody, even just hooking up, she goes out of her way to keep that so secretive because it would get hard for her on social media. People would be, as stupid and weird as this is, people would be upset with Vanessa Bryant.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's kind of crazy, dude. That's kind of crazy.
If you die young, you want your wife to be happy with somebody else? Be honest.
After I said all that good stuff,
Yeah.
let me think. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
I think that's the right answer.
I mean, I'll be dead.
Yeah, you'll be dead.
What do I care?
What do you care?
I'm dead.
You're dead? What do you care? I think that's the right answer, whether you believe it or not. It's the right answer.
That's it. Yeah, I know. Like, well,
no, I want you to be alone forever. No one else shall ever touch you.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I'd get upset.
Yeah.
And again, I'd be dead. So
you'd be dead. It wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't like all the Kobe fans putting pressure on Vanessa like that. I feel like if Vanessa Bryant meets the man or woman of her next set of dreams, we should be happy for her. I think we should be happy for Vanessa Bryant. I want to be happy for Vanessa Bryant.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll be happy for her as well.
All right. But anyway, as of this moment, according to her at least, she is not pregnant. So the internet can calm down a little bit for a little while. We might get there someday. I don't know. We might get there someday. I don't know. But who else has had to go through this in such a public way? Jacqueline Kennedy. That'd have been one. She remarried. She became She became Jackie Onassis. Come on, Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
You were
I wanna
a
be
history
Jackie
major.
Onassis.
You were a history major? And you don't know Jackie O?
Who's Onassis?
Rich guy.
Just a rich guy?
Yeah, like super rich guy.
When did Jackie O die?
Not too long ago.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
But people, on some level, people think you're President Kennedy's widow. You should always be President Kennedy's widow and nothing more.
I should have known that.
Princess Diana, well, that was a different deal. I wonder if Jackie O felt pressure to never, I wonder what that was like. I wish she was here. I wish I could talk to her about it. I guess I missed that opportunity.
See when she passed. She died in 1994.
Did she die in 94?
Man said not recently. Yeah, she died in 94.
Jackie O died in 94.
I want to say that it was. Well, I don't want to. Let me find why she died.
Well, history major. Just scrolling Wikipedia.
I know.
Maybe she died of a broken heart.
God.
Jesus, go to the end, Bennett. Do you not know how Wikipedia works? If you want to get the death stuff's at the end typically. Is this your first time on Wikipedia?
Legacy. Yeah, okay, here we go. She died in her sleep at the age of 64.
Oh, that's too young.
Yeah.
We lost Jackie O too young.
Yeah, she had cancer. I knew she had cancer.
Well, I wish you'd have said it 3 minutes ago.
Uh-huh. I didn't want to say it before confirming.
You didn't want to be reckless with Jackie O's death.
I didn't want to be reckless. I didn't want to be reckless.
You didn't want to be reckless with the cause of Jacqueline Kennedy's death in 2025? I had no idea she'd been gone since 94.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she left us a long time ago.
Well, that's too bad.
Over 20 years ago.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
I say lighten up on Vanessa Bryant, all right?
Yeah.
Whatever she wants out of life, that's what I hope she gets. And whatever she wants out of life, if she gets it, I hope we all support her.
Me too.
Yeah, let's support Vanessa Bryant.
Same.
Number 3.
Timothy Chalamet's ex-girlfriend, Eiza Gonzalez, was asked for a segment of Cosmopolitan's Cheap Shots for her thoughts on her ex-boyfriend, Timothy Chalamet, dating so publicly Kylie Jenner. Did you see what Eiza Gonzalez said?
I did not.
Do you know Eiza Gonzalez?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think I did either. I'm going to tell you more about her in a minute.
Okay.
Here's what Eiza Gonzalez said about her ex-boyfriend so publicly dating Kylie Jenner. You know what Eiza said?
What?
I'm obsessed with them and I love Timmy. I think he's the most talented, sweetest, honestly, sweetest boy, and I'm just so proud to see him thriving and doing great in his career, and we're just such good friends. She said, I have nothing but amazing things to say about him. They look so cute together. They look so in love and so cute.
That's really nice.
I love that.
Seemed a little over the top.
I like it when exes talk positively about their exes, whether it's all true or not. Or let me flip it around. I don't like it when I hear people talking badly about people they used to be in love with or like a lot or whatever. Just what is the point of that?
Yeah.
You talk bad about your ex-girlfriends?
No, but like I feel like that she was a little over the top. I feel like she was overcompensating there.
Jesus Christ,
yeah,
Bennett.
I do. I feel like she was overcompensating there a little bit.
It never even occurs to me that she might be anything other than just sweet. I read those quotes and I was like, what a sweet young woman this is. What a sweet, mature young woman to say these things about her ex-boyfriend. Because you don't always hear exes talk like this about each other. Right. I was like, that's sweet. And you're over there casting doubt.
I know.
You casted doubt. Why are you casting doubt?
I don't know.
Doesn't Timothy Chalamet strike you as the sweetest boy? That's what she said. He's the
sweetest boy about your ex-boyfriend.
Well, he is a little younger than her.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know any of this until yesterday. He's a little younger, so like I find that to be an endearing term. He's a sweet boy.
The sweetest boy. Come on.
I find that endearing. I find it sweet. You're casting doubt.
Yeah, I'm casting a little doubt on that.
I don't like you casting doubt on this.
I'm casting a little doubt on that.
So I decided I need to figure out who Eiza Gonzalez is. Maybe should I have known her?
I didn't.
She's like been on things and she's done stuff.
What's she been doing?
Just stuff. You know, she does stuff.
Okay.
I saw her on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
Yeah, so she does enough stuff to end up on Jimmy Kimmel. You ain't never been on Jimmy Kimmel. Is she an actress? Yeah. I am unfamiliar with her. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar
I'm
with
unfamiliar
her work.
with her work.
Okay.
Right? But she's on Jimmy Kimmel. You ain't never been on Jimmy Kimmel.
I have not.
All right. So, like, before you start looking down at her, maybe remember who you are. You ain't never been on Jimmy Kimmel.
What's her name?
Eiza Gonzalez. It's E-I-Z-A Gonzalez. And the reason I went to find her on Jimmy Kimmel.
Whoa, I got to be careful with these searches.
Why? Why you got to?
Because the first thing that pops up is Eiza Gonzalez body on the search engine.
I mean,
calm down, everyone.
Calm down.
Jesus.
The first autofill on Google for Eiza Gonzalez
is Eiza Gonzalez body.
Everybody's just a pervert on the internet, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Like Eiza Gonzalez. There's a million things that should fill in right there. Is delightful. Eiza Gonzalez is so beautiful. People just trying to look at her body. Surprised it doesn't say Eiza Gonzalez bikini shots.
Okay, I remember her from Baby Driver. She was in a lot of stuff that like I'm not familiar with.
Okay, yeah, I didn't recognize the name and I didn't recognize her face. And the reason I had to go, I do this all the time. Do you want to know what would be the best website in the world for people like us? For people who have jobs like this? If there was just a website, I'm giving somebody a good idea here. If there was just it probably exists. I don't want to act like I've got these great ideas. I find myself spending time doing this all the time. Do you know what would be a great website for people like us? If there was one website, just one place to go, and it was called, we'll come up with a better name, but you'll get the point, famouspeoplepronunciations.com. And all you do is you go to, every time you need to know how to pronounce Eiza Gonzalez,
you click on her name.
You
and
just go to this website because you know it's there, and then you just find her name and you hit her name, and you know what it says? It's her voice, because somebody got her on a microphone one time and said, say your name, and she says Eiza Gonzalez, and you say, got it. They do have these on some basketball rosters, and it's the best. I literally have sent emails to SIDs, sports information directors at schools, and said, thank you for having that, and more people should. And by more people, I mean everybody. Because I can't tell you how often we are in a studio and we're doing highlights, and it's just like, Florida has a player named Thomas, and it's spelled H-A-U-G-H. Got it? H-A-U-G-H. Picture that. Now pronounce it.
H-A-U-G-H?
Thomas, H-A-U-G-H. You're going to get it wrong.
H-A-U-G-H.
Yeah, pronounce it.
Huff.
Okay. Huff. That's where I would go too.
Yeah.
Except it's Hauk.
Hauk? Yeah, that would have been impossible.
Okay, right. Yeah, you're not getting that. So at some point Florida's on the way to winning a national championship. You just pick up on it. It's Thomas Hauk. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. You learn some of these, right? But buddy, I don't know if you've ever been in a studio doing a midnight Eastern Mountain West game between Fresno State and whatever, but you might run into a name you don't know. And it would be so helpful if you could just run straight to this one website that exists, and it's got everybody's names on there. Every basketball player, every baseball player, every actor, actress, right? Anybody's name people might say into a microphone, it's right there, the pronunciation.
I kind of like this idea.
I would subscribe to that website because
we might need to copyright this.
Consider this copyrighted.
Yeah, this is the copyright.
This is the copyright right here.
Uh-huh.
This will stand up.
The paperwork's in the mail.
The paperwork's in the mail. This will hold up in court. This is our copyright.
Yep.
I would subscribe to that website because I find myself so often going to YouTube, like all my YouTube autofills are like Asa Gonzalez interview, AJ DeBanza interview, Con Knipple interview. Because if you don't know it's Con Knipple, you might think it's Con Knipple.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it kind of looks like Con Knipple.
It does.
But it's Con Knipple. So you go, I need to see an interview with Con Knipple, so I'll see somebody say his name. And that's how I ended up watching Asa Gonzalez on Jimmy Kimmel. I needed to know, is this Asa? I don't know. I want to be respectful. I want to get the name right. It's Asa Gonzalez. So then I'm just, because I always know. I know Jimmy Kimmel. He's going to say, and my next guest is, and then he's going to say her name, Asa Gonzalez. Boom, got it, Asa Gonzalez. So now here we are. Anyway, I ended up watching Jimmy Kimmel's interview with Asa Gonzalez. What a delightful young woman she is.
Was she good?
Great. She just seemed delightful. She just seemed amazing. Timothy Chalamet's on quite a run.
Dude, he is on a historic run.
He's on a historic run.
Did you see him and Kylie making out in the front row? The one that's gone viral.
Oh yeah, they make out all the time. They love to make out. How you feel about that?
They're in love for real.
They're in love for real, and that's what Asa said. Asa said, I see Timothy, sweet boy, sweetest boy.
Yeah.
Just the best boy. And he looks like he's in love. They look so cute together. I love it. I like that. Whether you believe it or not, I like that. I know you're casting your doubts, but I like it. All right? How you feel about all the public making out? Are we too old to be publicly making out?
I don't think they are.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable sitting courtside at a Grizzlies game, just making out with your wife?
Yeah.
You would?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I got all the attention that they got, it'd be kind of, yeah.
No, you wouldn't get any attention. You would just be.
You would just make fun of me?
It would just be like, you see that old man over there, trying to grab his wife's boobie?
Well, when you put it like that, then maybe not. I thought you were saying I would get all the attention that they were getting. Then absolutely.
I'm not talking about a nice little kiss, like a hey, sweetheart, it's good to see you. I'm talking about they're wow, they're kissing again. Man, they're kissing again. They were kissing 2 minutes ago, and now they're kissing again because Timothy and Kylie are doing a lot of that. How you feel about it?
I feel good about it. I like them.
I think I like it.
I was skeptical at first, but they just seem like they really like each other.
And they're both pretty people. There's something we're not offended by pretty people being that's the whole porn industry.
I like Timothy's. I like Timothy's vibe too.
Got a nice.
I like his look.
I find him impressive.
Yeah.
I've told you. If I were a young gay man, that'd be the type of guy I was interested in.
Okay. Well.
I told you that. I find him compelling. He seems smart, confident but humble. He seems well-rounded. He's obviously great at his craft, but he cares about sports deeply. And then you can see him, right before the Super Bowl, he did a 15-minute car ride interview with Kendrick Lamar, and he could talk intelligently about Kendrick Lamar's catalog and about hip-hop. And it just feels like you could sit down with Timothy Chalamet and he would blow you away with any conversation.
Yeah.
He could talk to you about the art of filmmaking, but then also just talk to you about the Knicks rotations, and then just also talk to you about his favorite tracks off GNX.
I think that's why I was so bummed.
I might be in love with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, I think that's why I'm so bummed about this series, because it wasn't just losing the Knicks, it was losing Timothy Chalamet.
I didn't want to lose him.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose him.
Who we got now?
Greg Doyle.
We got nobody.
We have Greg Doyle.
We have no famous fans in this series.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We have John Cougar.
Oh, we have Pat. We have Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee,
Yeah, we
John
got
Cougar
McAfee.
Mellencamp. And on the Oklahoma City side, we have
No one. They don't have any famous fans. They don't have any famous fans. Who's even famous from Oklahoma City or Oklahoma in general?
Baker
Who's the most
Mayfield.
famous? Where's Garth Brooks from? Is he from Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, definitely.
Okay, Garth Brooks.
Do you know this?
But I don't think he claims them. I don't think he
Garth,
claims
we
them.
need Garth Brooks courtside at the Paycom Center.
I don't think Garth claims them, dude.
Do you know this? Just
What?
funny random thing. Brett McMurphy is like high school buddies. They went to high school together, him and Garth Brooks.
Oh, really?
Like buddies, like like he could text Garth Brooks.
Really?
Type of thing. I think that's real.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
Is Brett a Thunder fan? Do we know if he's a Thunder fan?
I can't speak to that.
Okay, we'll ask him.
We'll ask him.
Someone in the chat, Alan said Bill Hader's a huge OKC fan.
I like Bill Hader.
I question that.
I like Bill Hader.
Is that true? There's no way that's true.
I like Bill Hader.
Bill Hader? No, dude. He's a Knicks or a Lakers fan. There's no way he's a fan of anything else.
I don't like that we lost Timothy and Kylie. I'll tell you that.
I don't like it either. Bill Hader's a Thunder fan? I love Bill Hader, too. That sucks.
Anyway, the point of this whole story is not about Bill Hader.
Okay.
And it's not even about making out. It's about Asa Gonzalez taking the high road. You see Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend? She's always talking about Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah. She can't stop.
She can't stop. And, like, it's never the best stuff.
Mm-mm.
She's always like, well, you know, he was this and this and this. Blah, 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 blah. Like, what? Just relax. It comes across so much better, I think, if when somebody asks you about an ex, you just say, oh, they were great. They were the best. Just,
Mm-hmm.
hey, people are different, but like, oh, she was great or he was. You know who is also really good about this? Pete Davidson. He's a million ex-girlfriends.
And they all like him. They don't talk bad about him.
Well, like, whatever. I don't know. Like, they might all have the exact same opinion of him. Well, the reason this didn't last is because, there's a bunch of reasons it might not last with Pete Davidson. He talks about him himself. But you never hear him just trashing Kim Kardashian. He made jokes about Ariana Grande in his stand-up special, but that was he sort of set the whole thing up as, she was out there talking about me first, So what if I say, but he largely, broadly speaking, he just sort of, you ask him about one of his exes, he's like, oh, she's amazing. Even, there was, I get them mixed up on it, but there was one interview I saw where they were like running through his exes. And what about her? And what about her? And like for every one of them, in his own words, he was just said they're the best at this. He was like, oh yeah, she's obviously beautiful, but she's also the smartest young woman I've ever met. Just incredible brain, just unbelievable. And then they ask him about Kim, and he'd be like, oh, Kim, like that's the best mother I've ever seen. Just the best. The way she is with those kids is, I don't even understand how she does it. He's just complimenting these women. Doesn't that play so much better than trashing them? Even if you have reasons to trash them, just say nice stuff and move on. Even when I hear my friends talk about exes, I'd rather hear them just say nothing or positive stuff than just be like, well, she blah, 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 blah. I don't care, man, because with few exceptions, I've never seen a relationship end and there wasn't some fault on both sides somewhere, right? Like, relationships are hard. Take the high road. I think Asa Gonzalez handled this well. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And now I'm a big fan because she also seemed awesome in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel. I'm looking forward to seeing where life takes her next.
Number 4.
Rockies got swept again this weekend. This time by the New York Mets. Are you keeping straight with them? Keeping up with them? The
Rockies, not so much.
But they are. You ready for this? You're more likely to keep up to know what's going on with the Rockies than you are like the first place Tigers, because the Rockies are so bad that they are a headline every day.
Yep.
They're on SportsCenter every night because they are historically awful.
You want to know how bad they are? You guys were talking about Scotty Scheffler earlier. He's in the last 3 events that he's won, Scotty Scheffler, the Rockies have won 3 games. That's pretty crazy.
It's unbelievable. They've now lost 8 straight games. They're 9-50 on the season. It is the worst record through 59 games since like the early 1900s.
I
in
figured,
in the modern era.
Because especially early in bad teams win early too. Like that, you see that in baseball a lot.
I mean, we had the Mets game on yesterday, and it was just like a home run derby. Mm-hmm. It was like, and here's Lindor, and here's Alonso, and here's Soto. And at one point, like Soto hit one out late. I think it was the 8th. And whether it was Ron Darling or Gary Hernandez, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling or Keith Hernandez, like one of them said something like, when they looked at the replay, it was like, it's just like it's on a tee.
Yeah.
It's like it's just floating. It's just hanging over the plate. Like, that's Juan Soto. What do you think he's going to do with that baseball?
Right.
And they're just so, like, what do you do? Like, so we just went through these negative NBA rankings. Mm-hmm. What do you do if you're a Rockies fan?
If you're a Rockies
There is
fan.
no hope there. They are so bad.
I mean, they did win a World Series in 2007.
I know, but you ready? They're 9-50.
Yeah.
That's the worst record in the modern era, more than 100 years through 59 games. And you're not even halfway through the season.
So, like, what's the window for?
You're barely third through the season.
What's the window for being super angry about something like that? Because I've always been like, man, if the Grizzlies ever win a championship, I don't care what happens the rest of when can you like be super angry about it again? I think probably after a decade.
It doesn't even matter when you say that. Just know it will never be true, whether it's in sports or your own life. People all the time, if we ever won a championship, I'd be happy forever. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Be happy for a minute, then you get right back to being who you were.
I'd be happy for a long time if the Grizzlies won a championship.
So that's the sports version of that?
Yeah.
There's also real life versions of this. 9/11 happens, and it's like, we're like, USA, we're one country now, and we got to love each other. And that lasted like a week, Then we were back. I remember 9/11 happened, and people would say the wild thing about New York City is like all that anger that New Yorkers just sort of walked around with, yelling at each other, honking at each other all the time. Hey, what are you doing? And blah, 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 and move the car. And all. You walk around Manhattan, it's just people honking and yelling at each other all day long, right? That's just like, that is New York City.
Oh, wait, no, they lost that World Series.
There you go, Bennett. So
I was going to say.
You walk around New York City, that's all you hear. And after 9/11, people are like, it's like people are being nice to each other. People aren't honking their horns at each other and yelling at each other. It's a different place. Lasted like a week. And back to honking and yelling and saying, I don't care what it is in life. If this thing ever happened, I would never complain about anything ever again. It is a lie. Even if you believe it, it's a lie. It is not rooted in reality. If I ever got to do this, yeah, you will. You'll be right. People are who they are. All right? So I don't buy that theory, but I acknowledge people say it all the time. How do you even get through it as a fan? Imagine you care deeply about the Colorado Rockies. I know there ain't a million people like that or billions of people like that, but like there's somebody out there who cares deeply about the Colorado Rockies.
Sure.
Think about how negative the Grizzlies season was. It wasn't this.
Right.
This is hopeless. What do you do?
I mean, I don't know. And especially in Major League Baseball, where it's just like the separation between the haves and the have-nots is like as big as it's ever been. I don't know.
You got 100+ more games to play.
I do.
How do you even get up to go to work every day like that?
I do think
it must be like you think you want to play baseball for a living. It'd be amazing, and you do. Obviously, you do. But like, do you know what it's like to wake up every day, put on a uniform, and lose every day? Never win. We talk about 8-year-old baseball all the time because my youngest kid's in it. But there's like levels to it as well. Like every 8-year-old travel team is not in the same tournament. There's like a AAA and a AA. And so you might see these little 8-year-olds over here playing, and it looks like they're great. But just know there's another 8-year-old tournament over here with these teams playing, and these teams will smoke these teams.
Yep.
So the question becomes, well, why don't all these teams just play each other? Because you ever want to watch 11 8-year-olds cry? Let them lose 5 times in one weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard for them. Like I'm telling you, I watch 8-year-olds cry every weekend who lose baseball games. It matters to them. It deflates them. And then you watch them win, And it's like
the best.
The best. So the outcome of these games impacts 8-year-old moods. What do you think it's like to go to work every day and just know I'm going to lose again today? We're going to get our brains beat in again today.
Right.
I mean, baseball's in some ways an individual sport. Like you're in the box by yourself. If you're a shortstop, you're still trying to make the plays, but just never getting positive outcomes in sports or life is like not good for you. You need to get some wins every once in a while in sports and in life. What if every day of your life was a bad day at work? Every day.
Right.
Every day you came in here and like, I don't want to speak for you, but every day you came in here and you were like, that was the most miserable 2 hours of my life.
Sure.
And I got to do it again tomorrow. That's what it's like being a Rockies player right now, except it's more like a miserable 3 hours of your life. Just losing every day. It's not fun.
No, and I think of those, especially like if you're just talking about like, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA. I can't really speak on hockey, but like of those three big ones, it does seem like baseball is just the one where when you're in a situation like this, how do you get out of it?
Well,
it takes a long time. Like the NBA, you need a couple good drafts, a free agent move. In the NFL, you go get a quarterback.
How about this? You get really bad in the NFL. Immediately it turns to, all right, how bad can we be?
Right.
We might get the number one pick. Let's be real bad.
Right.
You still got something to be like.
Like the Titans just got a quarterback that's hopefully their franchise
and
quarterback.
It may or may not work out, but the point is you got so bad that then it's like, all right, let's get real bad.
Yeah. What do the Rockies get? A prospect that's going to play in the minors next year?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The Major League Baseball draft doesn't move the needle like that for fan bases because even if you take like Paul Skeens is an exception. He was there quick.
Yep.
And awesome immediately. But that's not the way it works. Like the Major League Baseball draft's coming up, and you'll hear a bunch of people get picked, and they'll get big signing bonuses, and you won't hear about them again for years, for the most part.
Right.
Years. Like you don't draft Victor Wembanyama, and then he's the centerpiece of your baseball team next year. You draft a high school player from Oklahoma City, and hope that in 4 years he's something. So there's no like immediate, there's just, when you're going through this in the NFL, there's something to look forward to.
Yes.
Here comes Cam Ward. When you're going through something like this in the NBA, it's like, we can maybe win the lottery and then get Wembanyama. When you're going through this in Major League Baseball, it's just miserable. Just miserable.
Yeah.
Feel bad for Rockies fans.
I do too, man.
I hope they get it straight, but I appreciate them playing the role of the Rockies this weekend and getting knocked around Citi Field one game after another.
Number 5.
College baseball NCAA tournament.
Let's go.
We really watched all day yesterday.
Let's go.
We had all the games on.
I'm not sweating a thing.
We watched the Ole Miss Rebels.
We have already advanced. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
You're already in.
We have already advanced.
So let me get you up where we're at. Arkansas into the Super Regional.
Yeah, smacked Creighton around a couple times this weekend. Handled North Dakota State. No issues whatsoever.
Auburn already in the Super Regional. Congrats to them. That's 2 SEC schools. Today, Ole Miss and Tennessee and LSU are trying to join them. Ole Miss was in a tough spot, buddy.
I know.
They had to beat Georgia Tech yesterday afternoon, and they were down 2 runs late.
They were down, yeah.
They were down like it was a weird game. I don't have any I don't watch college baseball, and I don't follow it, and I don't even know any.
Yeah,
I know
I
nothing
gotcha.
about it until like over the past week. And I watch Ole Miss like get down. I guess it's just the way college baseball works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but. Like they're down multiple runs in an elimination game, and Mike Bianco, the coach, is on doing one of those mid-game interviews. And he's like, "Oh, we're fine," And I'm like, "Are you fine, bro? This is an elimination game. You're down multiple runs. Like if the Mets were down multiple runs in an elimination game, I'd be like, we're not fine.
No, we're not good.
Go check the live markets. You're down a couple of runs. You're an underdog.
Yep.
And yet he was like, "Oh, we're fine. We just got to keep swinging." And I'm like, "Okay." And then turns out they were just fine. They come back and beat Georgia Tech. My point being, I guess scoring 13 runs in college baseball ain't that unusual.
No.
Because Ole Miss was doing it Ole Miss was scoring, buddy.
Yeah.
Every time I looked up, they had 19-year-old Ole Miss students with their shirts off in the stands.
Well,
Men, not women.
As a lifelong fan,
you're a lifelong fan.
As a lifelong fan, it wasn't hard for us this weekend. It was actually pretty easy. I can't speak for those other schools. I can't speak for those other SEC schools because they appear all on the brink of elimination. And damn, the number 1 seed Vanderbilt got eliminated by Wright State.
So Ole Miss was, Vanderbilt gets eliminated. They become the first number 1 overall seed to not at least advance.
That's brutal.
To the Super Regional. They made history.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss was down against Georgia Tech. Had to come back and win that one. Then they were down to Murray State last night.
Yep.
In an elimination game. Stormed back, won that, no problem. But this is how I knew this is how I knew I don't have proper context for college baseball. Ole Miss goes down like 1-0, and the live market had like Ole Miss minus 275.
Right.
I'm like, you're down 1-0 and you're minus 275 to win the game?
Mm-hmm.
And of course So today it is Ole Miss Murray State again in elimination. Loser's done. Winner advances. Ole Miss is like minus 375 to win it. But how about this? We had this moment yesterday.
Yeah, minus 350 right now. Yep.
Okay, so just big favorites. They should win the game. But we're watching it, and at some point Lou was like, so what happens if Ole Miss wins this one? I said, well, then they play again tomorrow, same team. And he was like, can we go? And we're not going to go because we had other things, other things to do. But he wanted to go. And if we didn't have these other things going on, like we might as a family go down there. It looked like a blast. It looked fun.
Yeah.
College baseball looks fun.
No, it is fun. I'm in.
I'm in.
As a lifelong Arkansas Razorbacks NCAA baseball fan, I am in. Call the Hogs, woo pig suey. Let's do it. We don't know our opponent yet.
You just sitting back waiting.
We're just sitting back waiting.
You're a lot like the Oklahoma City Thunder in that way. You handle your business and just sit back and wait and see who wants to join you, right?
Yep.
So you're just sitting back and waiting. I understand that. But Ole Miss, we got one more. Down in the SIP, we got one more game to win.
Tennessee plays at the same time.
If you happen to pop into my house at 5:15 today, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to have multiple college baseball games on. Come to the SIP.
Okay, it is funny what you were saying about that. Okay, so there's another elimination, and SEC teams involved. There's another elimination game tonight in the Baton Rouge Regional. It's the 6th seed LSU facing Little Rock, and they are minus 3,000. So I think if LSU is down 5-0, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Well, Little Rock is 27-33. I don't know their story exactly. I don't know how Little Rock ended up in this spot. This feels like the equivalent of St. Peter's in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It's like, I don't know how.
I mess with the Trojans. I mess with the Trojans of Little Rock. They're the Trojans, right?
Let's root for Little Rock tonight.
I don't think they have a prayer, man. Again, I know I'm a lifelong fan, but it's just I'm catching up this season. You're
an Arkansas baseball fan, lifelong.
Yes,
but you have a special place in your heart for your little brother, Little Rock.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
let's root for Little Rock.
Okay.
And would it just be fun to root for Little Rock?
It would be fun, yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I bet you if Little Rock wins to advance to a Super Regional, it'll either be something that's never happened before, or something that has happened very infrequently.
No, I think history will be made. I don't know what exactly it is
I
yet, but I bet I'll know by the time we get in here tomorrow if they win.
We'll know it by tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll know it by tomorrow. So, Ole Miss, Murray State at 5 o'clock, Tennessee, Wake Forest at 5 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, 2 more games. It's Miami, and our old friends, they are our old friends.
The Golden Eagles of Southern Miss.
They're our old friends. Shout out to Clarence
They're
Weatherspoon.
pretty good.
Shouts to Joy Lee McNellis. They're our old friends. We still like Southern Miss, don't we?
Yeah, I mess with them.
I
always actually liked that series.
I like Southern Miss.
With them.
I mess with Southern Miss. So
I'm glad they got a good baseball team.
So here's what we're going to do today. Let's map out our day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to not care about some of this stuff, but then we're going to care about Ole Miss over Murray State.
Yes.
Come to the SIP. All due respect to John Morant's alma mater, but we got to get you out of here. All right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to root for Tennessee over Wake Forest. Can you root for Tennessee? They're the reigning national champions.
Physically, I can't.
You can't do it.
Yeah, I know. And
Tony
I'm trying to be
Vitello,
better. I'm
I
trying to
believe.
be better.
Like, I know a college baseball coach, and his name's Tony.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Tony V at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He's apparently great.
And I know some great Vols fans out there.
But you can't do it. I can do it.
Like physically,
I can do it.
Okay, physically, my body won't allow me to root for
You
them.
ready this?
So.
You ready for this? Go Big Orange. I want Tennessee to eliminate Wake Forest. Go Big Orange. Say it.
I just can't
Say
go there.
GBO.
I cannot.
Go Big
I have principles
Orange.
in life, and that's one of them.
Okay. I'll let you handle that however you want. I will be rooting for the Tennessee Vols at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
While I'm also rooting for the Ole Miss Rebels. This must make me the worst Memphis graduate of all time.
I was going to say.
At 5 o'clock today, I will be spending my time rooting for both Rebels and Vols.
Well, I want to crash
Am I
course.
the only Memphis graduate who will spend my 5 o'clock hour today rooting for Rebels and Vols? And I want to be clear. We ever get Memphis baseball on the stage? I will be rooting for
Hell
Memphis
yeah.
baseball over
If
Ole Miss,
Little Rock can
over
get
Tennessee.
there.
Why not us? How's Little Rock get?
How is Little Rock there and we're not?
I don't know, Bennett.
That's the bigger question. How the hell is Little Rock in this and we're not?
Get Ed Scott on Zoom.
That's
Get Ed Scott on Zoom. Let's ask him. Let's take it right to him.
I demand better.
I want better.
I demand better.
I demand better.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. If Memphis ever ends up in this spot, I want Memphis to eliminate Ole Miss and Tennessee and Little Rock and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Tiger till I die, Bennett.
Yeah, I got to do some dig because again, how did Little Rock get in this with a losing record? That does. How does this work?
I mean, I'm assuming you ready
that everyone in that league sucks.
That they won their conference tournament and they
There's
got
something-
they got
okay,
the auto
okay.
bid
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
this it's. Embarrassingly, I'm talking about this from a place of ignorance. I don't really know.
I got
I'm
you.
assuming it's an auto bid situation. And now here they are. It's a lot like when how did George Mason end up in the Final Four? It's probably a similar story to
That makes
Little
sense.
Rock.
That
all
makes
right,
sense.
but they're up against it today. They got the LSU Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm a Tiger till I die. But in the absence of the Memphis Tigers, if the Memphis Tigers were playing baseball on June 2nd, 2025, I would be rooting for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Okay? So now I have to root for other things. I will root for Rebels. I will root for Vols. I will root for Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will end my night rooting for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's watch college baseball today.
I'm in.
All right.
I am all the way in.
Be back with GP's carry
Yeah,
out.
sounds good.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies at home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Bain drives. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead. Yeah! Jared with a knockaway. Good defense. Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting. That's no show. Let's go.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Halliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Halliburton rank?
Is he
Where's he ranked?
Yeah, is
For
there
sure.
potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping
Yes.
it all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
What should the Grizzlies take away from this Western Conference Finals matchup?
The Grizzlies need more quality depth. Not just depth, quality depth.
Well, what the Memphis Grizzlies can learn and take away from the Western Conference Finals is you can't talk about it, you got to be about it.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff. But can I hit you with these quotes from Charles Barkley? Because we were talking about inside the NBA and all of that stuff earlier.
How it's over, but not really.
Yeah, I was talking about it with Jessica. And so Charles Barkley was on Dan Patrick's show this morning. And he was asked about it. And he said, we taped a pilot about a month ago, and it was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, why would you? I don't understand. Why would they need to tape a pilot? I thought that they were just. I thought it was just like the same show.
I don't know. I don't know the context. I'm literally just reading something that the Dan Patrick show just tweeted. I don't know why they would be doing that. But
interesting.
But it will not be without conflict.
Oh, because they Barkley is going to make fun of ESPN. That is happening. That is going to happen. He's going to make fun of them. He's going to make fun of the behind the scenes stuff. He's going to
to say that he hates stuff that ESPN does. Like Kendrick Perkins will wake up and be on ESPN.
And then Barkley will say about how bad everything he said was today.
Yes. That's all going to happen. NBA. So you're just gonna. It's not unlike the McAfee thing. These ESPN has gone from it's interesting to watch. I don't know where it's going exactly, but ESPN has gone from being this thing that we are the biggest thing, and nobody here really matters that much. And if you think you are better off without us, go, and we'll just find somebody else to put on SportsCenter, and ain't that big of a deal. So Dan Patrick, you want to go be somebody else? Go be somebody else. Keith Olbermann, you think you're bigger than us? Knock yourself out. And with few exceptions, the people who have left ESPN, their level of whatever, it does drop off. It just does. They've gone from taking that approach, like we we are ESPN. We're the most important thing. No one person is that important to the big thing that we are. They went from that approach to just handing the keys to prime real estate in the middle of the day to Pat McAfee.
That's true.
And just saying, do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. And they are about to do something similar with Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny. And I know that doesn't play perfectly inside the building, but it also will create conflict. When you give people the power to do and say whatever they want to do or say, and there's really no repercussions, then they're going to do and say things you don't want them to do or aren't comfortable with them doing. It'll get like the McAfee thing's already been bumpy, and I predict that will not end well. Eventually,
maybe not. Eventually, there will be some big controversy. Yeah,
they're going to cross a line that they can't cross.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be. They're going to cross a line that you can't cross. I don't know when, but that's going to happen. And the NBA team, there'll be conflict there. There'll be conflict. But I look forward to seeing how it goes.
I do too.
Yeah. What's today's biggest game?
We're going college baseball, Bennett.
Let's do it.
I'm going to give you the most competitive game in the betting markets, and that is Miami Southern Miss. 8 o'clock first pitch down in Hattiesburg, ESPNU. I can give you Southern Miss at minus 165, or I'm going to have to get an alternative number for you, but I can give you Miami. Let me give you a number. I can give you Southern Miss at minus 165 or Miami at plus 130. What do you want?
I mean,
I know.
Damn, that's tough.
I know.
That's tough.
I know.
I think we already said we're riding with the Golden Eagles.
I think we have to.
Yeah, I think we have to. Our old friends.
Our old
they ain't
friends.
got a lot. Listen, I'm not disparaging their athletic department or anything.
They ain't got a lot going on.
They ain't got a lot going on. They got this.
They got this. Let's be Golden Eagles tonight.
Yeah.
Minus 165. Bennett says play Southern Miss.
Yeah, let's do that.
What are we watching on TV?
Okay. So I was sitting around yesterday. This is a real thing that happened to me yesterday. Sitting around watching college baseball, being a college baseball fan. And then it occurs to me, The Last of Us is over.
We finished it last night.
What'd you think?
I hated it.
You didn't like it?
Well, I hated the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Come on. I got no time for that.
The episode before the season finale
was really good.
Excellent.
Really good.
Great.
I agree.
Great. I love the show.
Yep.
I understand.
I like it too.
I understand people didn't like the cliffhanger at the end of season 2. I get that. Spoiler alert. But I didn't mind it so much, and I still love the show. I think the show's great. So I'm like, what are we doing tonight? What are we supposed to do on a Sunday night? The Mortician. Did you watch The Mortician last night?
I did not.
Woo!
I did not. I'm not even familiar with The Mortician.
The Mortician. New documentary. Three-part series.
Good title.
3-part series. Documentary. Episode 1 was last night. Episode 2, I guess, is next Sunday. Episode 3, the Sunday after that. 3-part series. The Mortician. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's about a crematorium.
I figured.
in California, long time ago.
Okay.
The thing is, there's this guy who is running it, and the hook to the whole thing is this guy is discussing it publicly for the first time ever. The guy who was in the middle of all of it, he's talking on camera for the first time ever.
Got it.
And so I'm like, well, watch this. So we start watching it. And as it's going, I'm like, because it's like, you won't believe this story. And I'm like, okay, let's see what you got. The Mortician. So I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is interesting and unusual. But like, and then you start hearing a little bit about what he did, and you're like, okay, he can't do that. But then he starts talking about it, and logically what he's saying kind of makes sense to me. Like, if he were my friend, I would be like, you can't do that, though. But I hear you. I understand where your mind's at. Logically, I hear what you're saying, but you still can't do it. But like, we're about 30 minutes in, and I'm like, you know what? This guy doesn't seem that crazy to me, and he clearly did some stuff he shouldn't do. But like, I hear what he's saying. I can kind of make sense of in my head. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, whoa, buddy. What? You did what? And then 10 minutes after that, I was like, come on, man. What? And then 20 minutes after that, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Oh, it got there. Wherever it was trying to get to, it got there. I went from how crazy is this really to what in the world was going on there? It's good. I liked it.
What's it on?
HBO.
Okay.
It's the new Sunday night thing for at least the next 3 weeks. You know, they do this sometimes.
Yeah.
A little limited series, get you through the summer type of thing. The Mortician.
I'm in.
Episode 1 is streaming right now on the Max app, and then episode 2 will come and episode 3 will come. I'm all in.
Okay.
And I know
I'll watch The Mortician.
this is the type of documentary you could immediately right now go read everything about it, and you would know everything about it.
I won't do that.
I'm not doing it either.
Okay.
But I went into it blind. I didn't know anything about the story. And for part of the documentary, the first part, I was like, I don't know. And buddy, it got crazy quick.
Okay.
It got real crazy quick. The Mortician, it's on HBO.
What's the best thing we've read?
Matt Snyder's got his MLB Power Rankings updated over at CBSSports.com. It's on the homepage right now. Number 1, the Detroit Tigers, 39-21. They've been great. Tigers are 39-21. First place in the Power Rankings, followed by your New York Mets at number 2. The Dodgers at number 3. The Yankees at number 4. The Cubs at number 5. You want to guess where your Orioles are?
I'm going to say they're sitting comfortably at 28.
27.
How about that?
Ahead of only the A's, White Sox, and Colorado Rockies. You can read that CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Will tomorrow be a Tuesday? Oh, tomorrow will be Tuesday. We'll be one day closer to Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
For some reason, I thought it started tomorrow. So.
Well, they can't because Game 7...
Yeah, you had to save room for it. It was supposed to be tonight.
Game 7,
yeah.
Pacers-Knicks would have been tonight. So, yeah. Now we got a little bit of a gap. We'll get through it, Bennett. Don't worry. We'll get through it.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. We're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful. Be kind. Be good. Rep your